Saturday, the 1st of March, 2025 at 4:06 p.m. here in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is the Dev and Design podcast with a dev and a designer talking about your favorite topic, astrology software. I'm the designer, Jake. He's the engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
Or I should say, happy birthday, Trey.
Thank you. That's yesterday, but yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday. You are the beautiful old age of 51 years old. I believe that most everyone, so what we had done, what I'll talk about is and this goes into my checking question, which we won't go into right now, but like one of the presents I made for Trey was a compilation video of everyone else talking about Trey. And the common theme across all of the ways in which Trey was either identified or talked about was his beard.
Yes.
And how luxurious and luscious it is. And so, I'm glad that the beard is coming back.
It's coming back. I feel like it's coming back a little slower than it did last time, but it has to fill in a lot of like side bits and stuff like that now. So it'll look good though. I'm doing the full maritime this time. I'm not gonna like trim it straight down into a wizard beard. I'm just gonna let it like kind of get out, like not too unruly. So I'm still gonna trim it, but I'm gonna have like kind of the big puffy beard.
Big puffy beard. We're all about it. No transition necessary. This week's show is called A Panel Show, where we will be talking a lot about panels today. Those panels are digital in nature. The panel that I put on the agenda here, though, is German because it has Frostschutz in it. So frost prevention.
Oh yeah,
is on there. Yeah, which I love. So we're gonna do my checking question, and then we'll talk a little bit about the stuff that Trey has been engineering this week, and then a little bit of discussion about sync. But before we get to all of that, we always go first to the check-in question. One of the things that I did for Trey's birthday, like I said, was make this compilation video. It took two things that I am reasonably good at and that I can execute pretty well. And I did. One is video editing. The other is arranging a group of people to do something. And I'm wondering from you, what is a task or activity that you enjoy that takes takes two things that seemingly are disparate and kind of smashes them together?
Oh yeah. I have to say, sorcery and software engineering. It's pretty rare that those two things come together, even though I think there are a fair number of people that are sort of into both of these topics to some extent. And there's definitely people that are doing like some interesting stuff playing around with like everything from like electrical engineering and inventing like bizarre sorceress devices to, really interesting software projects. And like I've got a friend who has an Arduino and LED lights on their altar that are designed to do the colors for the planetary day an hour and all kinds of cool stuff like that.
That's very sweet, actually. I love that.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. Yeah, and so I think being at that intersection in particular is just it's a really it's like a niche of a niche, and so yeah, there's not a lot of people there, but the ones of us that are there are having a good time.
Yeah,
doing stupid things, just
stupid things in wonderful ways. It's doing stupid things in wonderful ways, taking something like project management and coordination, which I could do for like a rocket launch or a building of something, and I'm like, nah, I'll make a video instead.
The video is amazing, like so incredible. If any of the people who are actually some of the people that are in the video will watch this,
yes,
and just absolutely blew me away. It was so beautiful, so well done.
Sweet.
Yeah, and everybody was just so creative, and it was just so cool. Like really, really loved it. It was really cool. Oh, and I wanted to say one more thing about the at the intersection of the sorcery and divination. Also projects that I do with other people, like Mosaic that I did with Heather Freeman. Digital native divination. We'll drop a link down below.
Go take a look up there. Oh yeah, look down there. Look up there. The link is somewhere. You'll find it
somewhere. You go find it. It's a scavenger hunt.
Perfect. Given that we have a lot of stuff to talk about, Mr. Henry, do you want to start
Yeah.
going through talking a little bit of what you wanted to accomplish this week, and then we'll go right into the demo.
Yeah. So follow up from last week is just to show the 3-panel layout. So I'll show a couple things here really quick. So one is um, here is the layout that's just the left panel that's open here. Anybody who was familiar with our videos in the past will recognize this layout. So this is the background, which we were showing last time. This is the
You
sort
know,
of like side
but
panel
you
thing.
can't see me right now, by the way, but I'm pointing to the corner to go to go like look at the video, and then a bug comes in,
Oh.
and I just start doing this like wild hand waving. Anyways, sorry. Yes, we've done 3-panel layout before. Go ahead. I'm like, hey, take a look up there.
It's like that video of the reporter goes ghetto in like 2 seconds or
Exactly.
whatever.
That reporter is so cool. He had his own show later. You should take a look at him. I don't know why I'm in nature, because I hate outside and I'm a fragile human being. But you know what? It's always good to try new things.
Okay,
You've seen the
I'm gonna go
3-panel
real
layout.
quick.
Oh my god, the bugs. All right, keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna go quick.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
So yeah, just wanted to quickly here show the like we've got all of the theming stuff happening now too, which is really cool. So that's amazing. I also wanted to quickly show here. I'm just gonna like have my little terminal over here, and so
Ooh, what a nice
also just
transition.
you like that. So here I could just show like swapping these guys out. Obviously, this will all be state driven, kind of like what we were showing before, but then just whoop, hey, look at that.
Look at that. Bring the
Yeah,
panel in,
so
bring the panel out.
yeah, so this was just getting this kind of in place for the next phase of stuff. Yeah, so we perspective got pulled over into the product this week as well. I'm not going to go through the code of it because who wants to look at code?
And
I'll
it'll
just
probably
get
be our 5th episode, maybe 6th, that we talked about perspectives, because we have so many perspective puns. We're not doing those anymore.
yeah, we're
We've
over it.
talked about it too much. But the thing to know about perspectives, if I can steal your thunder for a little bit, is that we have come a long way down the journey in understanding that perspectives really serve 2 purposes. One, they help with a view of information on a thing, and 2, they communicate settings that people can transport. Not that there's not just settings, but the settings kind of are connected to content. And when you share content, you can also share settings. Given that have both of these things, the things that we were doing before for perspectives was entirely over-engineered, and now Trey has collapsed it down.
collapse
collapse it down. Collapse it down to something that feels a little bit more reasonable, given now what we know about these 2 things that perspectives do. I think I captured about 80% of it. Well, anything else you want to add about that?
Yeah, no, you got it. Just that the perspective moving out of its own sort of entity and into being very intimately related to the ring itself is really great, and I think it's really gonna make it awesome, and we'll just leave it at that because otherwise we'll end up going down a bunch of rabbit holes. And then the other thing that I did this week was to do a bunch of research and start on the implementation for sync. So this is when you're running the app itself. The application will have all of its own local storage of stuff, which is persistent on the local machine, and then it's going to sync to Sobolo, our backend, when you are online. And this is like the whole reason why we did this replatforming, is so you could work on the airplane, and then it will resync up when you're back online. And so I started on that work, and it's great that there is a bunch of tooling around this now. It's surprisingly less great than I thought that it was going to be, with just like, oh, we'll just pull in a library and it'll solve this problem for us.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit in between those two, but no, it's really good, and I'm super excited that we are heading down this path.
Me too.
We're gonna have to stop this video soon because you're just swatting at bugs.
Are there giant mosquitoes? Is this a thing? There are things
No,
that look like giant mosquitoes.
That's a crane fly.
No, that's not a crane fly. You're gonna have to come out here and take a look. That is not a crane fly. That thing is going to go for my eyeball. It's going to suck out the vitreous humor from my eyeball, and I do not want it anywhere near it. It keeps like flying away, and then it's like la 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 la. Now it's like sitting right over there. It's mocking me. Anyways, I'm very excited about sync as well. This was something that was missing from the old platform. Like Trey said, we had heard from various and numerous astrologers, professional astrologers, that they need this functionality, and then it feels a little bit more like an app. And we are all about doing the things that people ask us to do as opposed to what we believe we should do for them. So
Yeah.
that's one of our ethoses. Ethi? I don't know. It's an
Yeah.
ethos that we have in the company. Good job, us. Mr. Henry, on this beautiful kind of I guess I would say shadow spring day, like
Hmm.
we're still in winter, but it's a shadow spring that's happening right now. What should the good viewer do with their shadow spring?
Oh, you know what? They should go just a little bit past the point that they think whatever it is that they're doing is going to be useless or not interesting or whatever, because right after that moment of realization is the time when everything gets awesome.
Hmm.
I was polishing rocks earlier. Don't ask.
I mean,
And I almost
it's
gave
pretty
up sort of
self-evident what
halfway
you were doing
through.
and why you're doing it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
polishing rocks.
you polish your
But
rocks.
I was polishing rocks with a Dremel, like hand polishing. And about halfway through, I was like, "This is dumb. This isn't going to work." And it was like right after that I was like, "Oh wait, this is going to work. It's actually going to be awesome."
Nice.
So push through those boundaries,
Yeah.
or just, but not other people's boundaries. Push
Push through your
through
own
your
personal
own,
boundaries.
yeah, your own barriers. Push through your own
Here's
barriers.
what I would say. One other
What's the
thing I would
difference between a barrier and a boundary?
We'll talk about that in a second. One other thing before you get on that. One other thing I'll tell you is that there are some times where other people are putting up boundaries or barriers. We don't know the difference, and they actually want you to push through them. They just don't know yet. So, for example,
Yeah.
I'm doing this bigger role at the library, and essentially what I'm going to do is be the service designer for the library, but they don't know what a service designer does. And if I said, I'm going to be your service designer, they would say, no, we don't need that. But they do need that. They just don't know that they need that. So what you
Yeah.
do is you show them what you are, and then later you tell them
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah.
You have two things to
Put,
do, dear viewer. Oh my God, how are you
yeah.
going to do that?
Why are you still watching this video? Get to
Get
work.
out of here. Be well. Take care. We love you very much. We're going to see you next week. Hopefully you have a beautiful shadow spring.
Hopefully, Jake isn't exsanguinated by mosquitoes.
We'll find out. Bye.
Bye.